This is the operational video for our Green Bean software. It's designed for both Green Bean loading a roaster or for loading a destoner coming out of a cooler. The principle is the same. You have a set batch of beans and you want to set the loader to cycle as many times as necessary to move that beans from one place to another. So if you have 60 pounds of beans and you're loading 20 pounds each time, you might want to set it to run 3 times. You could add an additional fourth time if you want to make sure that the cooler is empty, or you want a little extra time to make sure that the brew container is empty. Now when we look at this control, we see that it's in the stop mode. It won't run in the stop mode, so we're going to go ahead and put it in the run mode. Let's start by at the first row here. That one will be highlighted when you push the green button on the Green Bean software, or when the sensor is activated in the hopper that you've opened up your cooler and beans are flowing into the stoner hopper. And then down here in the Q row, 1 is the vac. So if the vac is on, that will be lit up. And 2 is the reversing the airflow for cleaning the screen. And of course, here's telling you you're in stop mode. So let's go ahead and put it in the run mode. We're going to hit escape. We're going to use the arrow key to go down to run. We're going to select that and say OK. And then it's going to ask us yes or no. Yes, we do want to do it, so we're going to say OK. Now you see it's coming up, the controller's on and is saying stop. Well, of course, you're still in that menu, so it's asking you if you want to put it in the stop mode. That does not mean it's in the stop mode. So we're going to escape out of that menu, and here comes our main operational menu. And what we see here is that we're going to load for 20 seconds, and it's going to do it 3 times. So let's go ahead and change this to 24 seconds. And this is how you would change any value. You just simply hit select, move the cursor over to the value that you want, and we're going to hit select again, and then you see it's underlined, and I'm going to just move that up to change it to 24. Change that digit to 4 and say OK and escape, and I'm done. So now it's going to run 24 seconds 3 times. And these are the only 2 things that in normal operation you'll ever want to change. And even if you lower the size of your batch and let it run a few extra times, it doesn't really hurt anything. So you may never change this after you set it up. Now we continue down the menu. This is our dump time. It's set at 4 seconds. It takes about 5 seconds to unload the chamber, and this is the time that the control waits for the vacuum chamber to dump before it tries to load again. So this is a little short. 5 would be okay, but I like to set it at 6 or 7. So let's go ahead and change that again. We're going to hit select. We're going to move the cursor over. We're going to hit select again. It's going to be underlined, and we're going to move that up and change it to 7. And then we're going to say OK and escape. So now it's going to wait 7 seconds after it stops loading for the material to dump. Now let's look at what other screens we have. These screens you probably won't need to change, but this is just basically the pulse on and off time. So during the dump time, that reverse airflow is going to reverse for a second and then stop for a second, reverse for a second and stop for a second. And what that does is it helps clean out the screen, but it also helps push out the beans, particularly if it's a dark roast and you have oily beans that really would rather stay in the chamber. Okay. That's it. That's the basic operation of Green Bean software.